Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Elitism has been created around it, that machine learning is, oh my god, it is such a difficult topic. It's not. It's bullshit.
Hello everybody, my name is Ocean and I today take pleasure in welcoming you to the first episode of the series India's Most Inspiring Women Managers. Like you know, we're running a campaign on our website. It's a campaign called SheInspiresMe that we're running to celebrate a Women's Month at Inside IIM. And one of the things we did in the campaign was ask you all to nominate the women you think inspire you because of what they do professionally. And I take immense pleasure in sharing with you that in today's episode, we have the first woman we selected. Her name is Shailaja Gupta. Shailaja, it is a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot, Ocean, for inviting me to this great series.
Let's dive in, Shailaja. Tell me about where you did your graduation and how would you describe the period of you going to college, having that experience? What was it like for you?
So I did my graduation from IP University, IGIT. And the thing is that, since school times, I was always the topper. And but in 11th, 12th, I did not study that hard. So I was not able to, achieve the college that I wanted. So I was not so happy. But anyways, IGIT was a decent college. I joined it. See, in my school times, I was quite into studies and all. So I wanted to enjoy my college life. I wanted to, fully enjoy it. So I totally gave up on studies. But like the second year, right, I really got very, very bad grades. So I got 65%, which was like horrible for me. People thought that she is not somebody who would know things, and I had never ever in my life been in such a situation. I was always someone who was looked up to since my school days. So I wanted to get that back. So I just figured out that I would need at least 80% every semester to make up for this lack of percentage. So then I studied very hard and I was able to get at least 80% in each semester.
And then in college, you decided that you wanted to get into management and you decided to take the CAT and you aced it, got into IIM Indore. What has that experience been like for you?
So see, that memory of the third semester, right, it is still fresh in my mind. So I never wanted to experience it ever. And also my parents are very accomplished. So I didn't want to be the black sheep of the family, which I felt. So I was sure that my parents did not used to feel very proud when they used to talk and all. So I wanted to make them proud.
You mentioned that from your campus placements at IIM Indore, you got into data analytics. It was not your specialization, you mentioned, but you decided to go into it.
It was not exactly a pure analytics role. So it was more of a CEO's office role, more of a strategy role. But the problem with that company was that the data was totally haywire. Okay. I have to present numbers to the CEO. What is the sales like? So I was mainly preparing decks for CEOs, investors, pitching for investment and all. So I worked a lot with numbers. Okay, the problem was these numbers were not congruous. So the sales department said some other numbers, planning department said they have prepared some other numbers. So there was a lot of chaos. So that is the reason I had to get into analytics, because I had to streamline the data. I had to make sure that we have just one common source of data.
Then you mentioned that when you were working at Samsung in your role, that's when you decided to embrace motherhood at that point in your career. And my question is, was it a conscious choice you made, keeping in mind that it will not hinder your career growth and everything that you had achieved until that point? Or was it something that just spontaneously happened and you decided to say yes to it in your life? What was that like?
So yeah, when I was in Samsung, so I was, I was handling North India operations. I was doing a good role, and it was a good company also. So, and see, I was pregnant, I was 3 months pregnant when my husband got, a 1 year assignment in Norway. Now the issue was that if you like the flights, they don't allow you to travel when you're pregnant after fifth or sixth month. Okay, they will not allow you. So if I did not go that time, I would have to, stay away for 1 year. See, if I was not pregnant, I would never have left Samsung, to be honest. I would have done a long distance. My husband is very, very supportive. But yes, because I was pregnant, so I had to make a choice. And it was a very difficult choice because I was not at all sure, what will happen after I return. See, because the reason is if you go on a maternity, like you take a sabbatical, right? Then a lot of companies are not interested to rehire you, to be honest. There is always an apprehension in their mind, how will this person manage. And then I wasn't sure also whether I would be rehired or not. So what I did was, but then I just took a leap of faith, okay, because I decided, okay, let it be, we will see what something I will do. So it was a very I don't know, it was not a, see, I don't believe in taking right decisions. I just take whatever decision I like, and then I work at making it right. I believe in that philosophy by Ratan Tata. So I just took that decision without much thought. When I would have landed there, right, I was already 6 months pregnant. So nobody is going to give a job to a pregnant person, right? They know that this person is anyways going on maternity leave. So I was not able to get a full-time role. So what I did was I started, reaching out to my network. So when I was doing this, right, I had to network a lot because it's not easy for anybody to take you when you're pregnant and you're not even in the same country. See, this work from home culture has only come after COVID, right? Before that, it was not so common. So that time I realized the power of network. I, approached a lot of alumni, and I created a group for IIM Alumni. And then this, grew like anything. So we now have 3,300 IIM alumni on FB group, and 1,890 on YouTube, subscribers on YouTube. And this is just 3-4 months. See, if you think you're lacking something, no, then you do extra work. I knew my capabilities, but I just thought that I don't have proper corporate experience during my pregnancy time. It's like a startup experience. So I wanted to leave no stones unturned. Like once I return, I should be able to get a job. What I did, I really went deep into coding. I knew Python, but I totally learned it very well. Python and R, SQL, Tableau, Power BI. I did a lot of projects on GitHub for on machine learning. I enrolled in hackathons on Kaggle, and I did whatever I could do. And then statistics, I read like ISLR is the best book of statistics, which all the good colleges read. So I read all that, and I did not want to spend money. So I did all the Coursera EDX courses with audit. So I was doing all of this. Okay, so I was, I think, working far more in my pregnancy than I could have, I think, worked in my corporate also, because I was totally upskilling all the time. And then Corona happened. And then when I started applying job market had literally crashed. But still, because of my skills and all, I got a lot of offers even during COVID. So it's actually turned out to be the best decision of my life.
Wow, Shailaja, I have honestly never met somebody who is so driven, so ambitious, and so relentless. Even when they're on a leave, you're supposed to take rest. But look at you, you don't stop. So a lot of students really worry, oh, how do I learn coding? How do I learn Python? I've never done Python in my life, etc. But in spite of that concern, you decided you wanted to do it, and you just did it. Where do you get that kind of strength from? What is the secret of achieving so much?
So I was very scared of computer science. I had not really exploded only, you can say. Okay, so I was scared of it. And then in my college also, BTech times, I was getting computer science option and electronics. I chose electronics because I did not want to, be in that field. So I was so scared of coding. Like, see, I mean, I think now it is such a cakewalk, right? But that time I used to think that it is something which is difficult or whatever, right? I had those unnecessary preconceived notions. But to be honest to you, right, Python and R, they're extremely easy and anybody can learn it. And nowadays they're making coding so easy. See, coding is just a tool, right? It's not, it is something everybody can learn, and it is something which is just a means to an end. It is not the end. You understood? Like coding, I am using coding to see what my sales is doing, like, so it's just a means to ultimately reach to that question: is my sales doing well, is my operations doing well, where is the revenue lagging behind? That is the main thing, and this is just a means of achieving that, right? So you need to understand that coding is being made extremely easy. And if somebody is okay, let's say if somebody doesn't want to try coding, they should start with Tableau and Power BI. Tableau is just you drag and drop. It's just like Excel. Okay, you can make beautiful PPTs using that. You can do a lot of analytics using that. And coding, Python, give it a try. See, don't confuse Python with C, C++, Java. I hated those languages. But Python, I simply love. Python is such an easy language. It's almost like English. Anybody can learn it. And R is even more simpler because R was made for mathematicians. So mathematicians are not like coders, right? They are into maths and stats. And coding is again just a way to get to that, implement that statistics. I'll tell you an example, like regression. So if you want to implement regression, okay, using whatever, some language, in R you can do it in just 2 lines. Import regression, and then you just put X value, Y value, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. It is that simple. It is unnecessarily, being overhyped and unnecessary, what should I say? Elitism has been created around it, that machine learning is, oh my God, it is such a difficult topic. It's not. It's bullshit. It's a very simple topic, and it's extremely easy. I think everybody can learn coding or analytics with a little bit of interest. That's all that is required.
I want to understand from a user perspective, what options does somebody who's looking at a career in data analytics have?
Let me start with pre-MBA and then I will move to post-MBA. So you can easily be a coder. Okay, you can go into machine learning. That requires some coding skills. If you don't want to do coding, then you can go for visualization. Tableau and Power BI do not require much coding. The maximum coding I have done till now is if else. The PPTs, they look very, very good because I was working with a lot of CXOs. So my job required making a lot of PPTs and all. That was a part of my KPI and all. So I learned Tableau for the same reason, because with Excel you require a lot of you cannot achieve those type of graphs. Let's say I want to show the sales of a region. I'll give you an example. Okay, I want to show the sales of a region, and let's say I'm showing the amount of sales, like the total value of sales, but I want to show how many units are sold. So one way is that I will have 2 graphs, one for quantity, one for volume, and another way is I can change the size of the, let's say there are like circles on that graph for the points for different areas. So I can change the size of the circle. If more units are sold, the circle will be bigger. If less units are sold, the circle will be smaller. So such type of graphs you can easily make using Tableau and Power BI, but you cannot make using Excel. So that is the reason, for sophisticated visualization, you can go there. Otherwise, you can also go into backend, SQL. So SQL also you will have umpteen number of jobs. Basically, you will be managing databases. So that is more of a coding role. See, SQL is a very easy coding tool. Okay, you can learn it in like 1 week at max. There is nothing in it. And if you want to master, then also it will take hardly 1 month. So in business analyst, what happens is you would let's say, see, consulting is proper in client based organizations, but there would be a lot of organizations where, let's say, analytics is done in-house. you are doing it for, let's say, some other department. So you basically, as a business analyst, need to interact with the business side. You need to understand what they want, and then you need to prepare technical documents. There are some specification documents which you prepare. You will have to put everything in detail. Whatever that person wants, you have to convert it into some kind of a technical language, and then you have to pass that on to the IT delivery team, who will actually implement that process. Okay, so that is the role of a business analyst. So I'll stop here for pre-MBA. Then if you come to post-MBA, then also there are, of course, a lot of options. So one is analytics consulting. So it is just like any other consulting. You meet clients, you understand their requirement, and you give them the product. The only thing is, you will not be making the product yourself. You will have a team of engineers, and you will get it made from them. You would more be facing the client, understanding the requirements, and basically handing it over to the, let's say, delivery team. There comes a technical manager role, which I'm currently doing. So in that, what you do is you manage technical teams. So you will have data analytics, this backend teams. Then there would be visualization teams, and there would be some machine learning teams also. So you would be basically managing all of that. Whatever requirement comes from the business analysts or consultants, right? You need to basically make sure that those are implemented well. And so all these roles require different level of technical expertise. So your analytics consulting and your business analyst, they do not require a lot of technical depth, because they need to talk to the customers, just understand, and they should just have a basic overview of how technical things work, so that if by chance you meet a customer who's very, very technical, then you should be able to converse with that person. You should also be able to converse with the technical team in their language and jargon. So basically, the key skill is not technical, it is more of communication skills, being able to talk to different people in their language, and understanding, building that relationship. That is your key skill. If you're into analytics consulting, you will have to be sure that you bring business from the client. So you would have sales targets also. As a business analyst, you should be articulating everything well enough, so that no requirement is left behind. So that is your key skill, right? As a technical manager, you're required to know a lot of technical stuff in depth. Reason being that if your team is stuck somewhere, then you should be able to troubleshoot. You should know, when you are a technical manager, your work will be, you need to divide. Let's say I got one project, so you need to divide that project into subtasks. You need to know which person can do which task better, so you need to assign accordingly. You should know your people well, how much time they typically take, and all of that, right? You should be able to estimate the timelines on your own also. If you have worked on your own, then only you will know, right, how much time it takes. Otherwise, the developers can say whatever they want. So you need to at least know, even if you're not coding yourself, you should know how much time it should take, and all of that. And of course, if there is any issue, you should be able to fix it. If you can't fix it, you should know how to get it fixed. So that is very critical. And you are responsible for the overall delivery on time. So you will be given the requirements, and you basically need to deliver the product. That will be your work mostly. Okay. And then we would have product managers. What the product manager does is, he is responsible for each and every pixel that you see. So let's say for analytics, I will tell you what it means. Let's say you are developing a dashboard. Now what he will do is, he will tell which screen will come first, how will it look, if the person clicks on this screen, where will he go. So he is required to develop wireframes. He is required to understand how to make it look visually appealing, and how to make it less cluttered, and how best we should visualize the data. So he is also not required to know a lot of technical stuff. He is required to be very good with business and visualization skills. So different roles will require different skill set. So you need to understand what skill set you have or want to develop, and accordingly you should get into that type of role. That is what I would suggest.
Before going on to the next question, I want to understand, let's say when students are doing an MBA, And you have companies that are coming for analytical roles and they're hiring for those roles. It could be a managerial role, middle level management. At that point, if there's somebody who understands coding languages, the ones you mentioned, is it something that companies actively look for? Do they look for people who know these languages, or is that not a criteria?
To be honest, see, it is preferred, but it is not necessary. So companies, it's not like if you know Python and R, then you will be 100% recruited. That's not the case. If you know it, of course, if there are two people who are equally, capable and one person knows, then obviously he would be preferred. If you have experience in analytics, you would obviously be preferred. But at the same time, there are a lot of people who get into analytics. See, analytics has come hardly in the last 4-5 years. Okay, it was nowhere before that. So even the VPs and the CIOs of the world, right, they also don't know that much about analytics. So it's not something that you're not lagging behind if you don't know it, to be honest. Okay, and even Excel is analytics tool. So it also depends on how you present and what you present in your CV. And even if you have worked in SQL for that matter, that is very much an analytics tool. So it totally depends on you, how you will show that in your resume. Or even if you do some courses, right, see, if you have experience, great. But if you don't have, that doesn't mean you cannot get an analytics job, is all I'm trying to tell. So you can always do some courses, you can do some and you don't even have to pay, right? It is completely freely available everywhere. So as long as you have the knowledge, nobody cares about whether you have done XYZ course or not.
Shailaja, you've been doing analytics for about 5 years, probably even more than that now. And doing your by nature into the nature of the industry, or into an industry that's rigorous. It's not superficial. It takes care of information and data and puts it together to make sense of it. How do you manage your mental health when you're working in jobs like these?
Okay, yeah. So I definitely enjoy life. At least I think so. So I think I have made it a conscious attempt to develop some hobbies on the sidelines. So I am a lot into painting, and I've also taken up spirituality big time. I was a person, at least, if everything outside is good, then I used to be happy. If everything is not good, then I used to be sad. You're totally like a puppet of the outside situations, and accordingly your state of mind would be. So then I decided, for my baby's health, I will make it a priority to change this mentality. So I went very, very deep into spirituality and all of that. So I meditated, I started listening to positive affirmations. Earlier I never got the time for meditation. I thought that who has the time for it, 15-20 minutes, it's such a waste of time. And I did not understand it also. You need to sit there and just, I don't know, do nothing. So so I never really understood the concept of it. Okay, so I never even tried going there. But then like here, because of my kid inside me, right, so so I started it, and it was really life changing. Actually I never did it before because I thought it's just a waste of time. I don't have that much time to do this. But once I did it, all my waste time just reduced to zero. All my overthinking was gone. No negative thoughts. I don't think I have been happier in my life, despite, irrespective of what's going on outside. So it's good or bad, it stopped bothering me. And finally it turned out to be good, right? Everything went out so well. It was the best decision. I could never have founded this IIM community of 3,300 people had it not been for Norway and that decision. And I would never have had the time to upskill myself. All this was possible only because I was in a very, very calm and relaxed state of mind. And you know what, if you're managing a lot of things, then you actually need to give far more self-care time than otherwise. Because I was doing so many things, that's why I needed far more time for myself. So I decided to make it a priority, and it's really changed my life. And this is something I'm going to keep like forever. That's for sure.
Oh, that sounds like a transformational, inspiring journey. It seems that you're one of those people who has literally made the most out of her maternity leave. I mean, just wonderful. Before winding up, I want to ask you, what's a message, what's a learning that you would want to share with our audience?
So I would just want to say that, and I know it's very cliched, but every failure is a stepping stone to success. So if you are the hardest hit, do not worry about it. All of us have been there. Okay, I don't think there is a single person on this earth who has never had a failure. I would like to meet that person if he or she exists. So I think every single person goes through failures, right? It is normal. So it's just that what you do out of it. Okay, like, and one more thing is, if you have taken a decision, think a lot before taking that decision, but once you take it, then own it and never ever give up, and never think that something is difficult. Oh, machine learning, this is too difficult. No, it's not like that. It's very easy. It's unnecessarily overhyped. So just relax. Okay, just think everything is easy. Somebody is doing it, I can also do it. That is what I feel. Okay, if somebody else can do it, we can also do it, right? We are all humans at the end of the day. And even if we are not able to do it, it's okay. We tried and we did not like it, then it's okay, then we will do something else. But you should at least try first before making any assumptions. Like, I had assumptions about machine learning, that it is difficult, and once I went into it, it was so damn easy. So you need you need to at least try something, then think something good or bad about it.
So the self-limiting that all of us do, a lot of us do, I won't do this because this is difficult, I can't do this. I think you're somebody who's been there, broken that belief, actually went ahead and did it, and is doing exceedingly well in that specific field you found challenging. I think, very, very inspiring story, Shailaja. So glad that you decided to take the time, share it with us. Your nomination for the She Inspires Me campaign, we received it through Ankita Pawar. And I want to thank Ankita for nominating you. We got to know you. We got your story out to the users. Very, very inspiring. It's a privilege and a pleasure having met you, spoken with you, and having you here. Thank you so much for your time, and lovely speaking with you.
Thanks a lot, Ocean. It was great, speaking on your channel and addressing the users, and hope they all like it. Thank you.